So again, I kind of want to thank all of you guys for the generally positive feedback I've received in a lot of these, especially those of you that are fairly new to the channel now, that may have joined in just because of that quick overview video I did for patch 13 and going over the patch notes. Hopefully you've enjoyed it so far and will continue to enjoy it. And again, please leave feedback if you have any comments, any suggestions, or anything like that. I always read, even if I don't respond right away. I always read them. And I'm just really glad to be able to get some new content out there that people are actually interested to see, with this new patch. Okay, looks like the Royal Crypts are in that direction, so I'm going to do a little more exploring, try and get some more levels for you guys.
Not enough hatred.
I think for the subsequent playthroughs I might go ahead and just unlock these here, because I can always at least get an idea of what they would want your bars to look like, just because they are still categorized. Adventure ring. An additional experience ring. Let's go ahead and put that on over the attack speed one. Once I get some nice plus experience gear, it's sure to make future playthroughs a lot easier. I may actually farm for items a bit and craft in hopes to make that a little easier for future videos. At least until this is, uploaded and I can free the hard drive space to do more videos. Figure while I'm doing that, I might as well do something constructive. It's usually one full playthrough like this will take up the rest of my hard drive space. About 500 gigs of information for one of these 2.5-hour playthroughs. Wrong direction. Not that there's anything over here for it to have killed anyway. Protection shrine and no enemies for it to protect me from. Ah, here we go. I got a 10 with one blow with those bolas.
There are forces arrayed against us that are stronger than we ever imagined. Some greater purpose lies behind these trials, but I do not yet know it.
Probably because there isn't one. Let's go.
Yeah, she has a lot of the same responses as her male counterpart. For those of you who may be asking, these scribe tables are not dropping anything. I have noticed some reports of that in the forums. People wondering about that. I think this bug, it's not really a bug. What that is that's telling you that you've collected every single book from that type of altar that you can. So I have all of the books, so now it won't drop anything else. Now there are more books, of course, from Leoric himself, but those will appear later as I go deeper into the cathedral. But it is by design that they stop dropping anything once you've collected them all. It's kind of your cue so that you know that you don't have to click on those things anymore. I'm glad the bolas will blow up even though the monster dies. Or it could just be, he could be dying just a split second before I hit him, I don't know. But it generally looks like when I put a bolo on something and it dies before the timer's up, it will still blow up and do damage to everything around it. Which, you know, if that being the case, is really nice, because then I can still do the AoE damage that I wanted to do. It's an interesting trap. I feel like I'm finding more blues. Could just be perception at this point. Because I did lower the amount of drops of blue items in the last build. It could just be because I am doing an absolutely full exploration this time, like I did with my wizard the first time. And I didn't really do a lot of full explores on my other characters because my intent was to get to the Skeleton King with every character and see how it felt. And this, everybody's seen the Skeleton King. You know, assuming you hadn't seen it before you came to my channel, you know, well, now you've at least seen it with every character, so you've seen it 5 times. So I figure at this point what we're really interested in is the mechanics. So even if I'm not killing the Skeleton King, there's still something interesting for you. Come on, die. There we go. Really want to get 10 here. Now I'm going to open up the Friends tab. As you see, I don't really have anybody that I know on beta that I've added here. One thing that they've done here, you can't really see, is they have linked the beta with the PTR for StarCraft 2 and World of Warcraft. So if I had anybody on my friends list that was on the PTR, they should be able to see me on here. I would probably have to add them again, because your friends list don't carry over from the full game of Warcraft to this.
It is nothing compared to the Grand Maesters. It is named Achener, herald of righteousness. A sharper blade was never forged.
So it's nice to see that at least they've added that, you know, so I could tell some of the people I know on Warcraft to try and add me and kind of see how that system works out. I really like BattleNet 2.0 for that functionality. I hadn't really talked about BattleNet in these videos too much. And what I like that I've got a lot of World of Warcraft friends. Now I'm not really intending to, at least right now, I'm not really sure if I'm going to continue Warcraft into Mists of Pandaria. But I might. There's been some interesting information coming out of their new talent trees and builds and what they're looking to do. So it's actually intriguing me more than I thought it would. But I'm not entirely sure, since I spend most of my time just raiding anymore. And I'm not sure that's really the playstyle I want to continue doing, especially with Diablo 3 coming out. I really like this, you know, I'm liking the faster style here. It's something I still have to consider, but let's assume that I leave WoW, you know, at least then if I still have some friends on WoW that still play, I can still talk to them with this, with the whole real ID system. You know, it's kind of funny that people were complaining about how people could see your real name and whatnot, but you know, it's like, the truth of the matter is the system is for people that you know, that you can talk to across platforms. It wasn't intended for anything else. And some people have purposed it, you know, for other things, like giving maybe a raid leader your real ID, so that if you're in StarCraft and they need you, they can send you a message, you know, something like that. But it's a great system, because being able to talk to friends between multiple platforms between multiple games, you know, it's great because, you know, if you have a friend that plays Diablo, but maybe they logged into StarCraft or Warcraft first, and you know they didn't have anything they were doing, you say, you know, hey, you know, you want to adventure together, you know, great, let's do it. And then from there you just invite them once they get into the game. It makes me think a little bit of Steam, which I really do like Steam, and Steam has been getting some bad press lately. I know Total Biscuit had talked a little bit about it when he was doing, he was talking a bit about it at Kingdoms of Malur, I believe. I don't remember specifically what video he was talking about. It was fairly recent, and he has actually a few valid points. But at the same time, you know, he doesn't use the Steam system for talking to friends and like that, but I do. So I kind of see the other side of the coin. You know, systems that he may not use, I use. So obviously, different people are going to have different points of opinion on this. You know, I really like, you know, I've got a few friends that purchase a lot of Steam games, and we do play together, and it's nice to be able to talk to them. And kind of the same thing I like about BattleNet 2.0 is that same system.
I'm glad that fate has brought us together on this path.
A lot of companies are trying to mirror the Steam system. I mean, EA's Origin system really feels like they're trying really hard to be Steam, and they aren't. You know, and that might have been part of the decision why EA decided not to put Battlefield 3 onto Steam, because Battlefield 3 has to go through Origin. Of course, it could also be because it goes through a web browser. I don't know. I'm sure, you know, Steam and Valve could have figured something out for that. Going the wrong way. But, you know, even when Steam first started, I really wasn't sold on it. I didn't like it at first, but then again, the always-on internet connection thing was kind of a big deal then. Didn't have broadband in every area at the time. Okay, so even without experience gear, now that I've rambled on again, I seem to be doing that more and more. Almost level 10, which is good. But definitely a little slower than when I was with experience gear, because I was getting close to level 11 even when I was going through quickly. Oh, sorry, it's 10, no, 14 is the device, so I won't get anything there. Looks like I'll only be getting passives, which is what it's been all throughout the beta. Let's just double check, make sure that's a leveling for 11 for Tingling Shot, 12 for Chakram. Well, let's look here. That's 17, that's 13, so you can even see the levels where you get your runes. Can't check in Tingling, of course that's at 11, so it's not going to matter. That's 14, so I will not see the first rune for Rapid Fire, which is a shame. What is that? It reduces the initial hatred cost to 5, and ignites your arrows, causing them to deal fire damage. So it changes it from physical to fire, and reduces the initial cost. That's a nice rune, honestly, for Rapid Fire. Kind of a shame I won't be able to try it out. Let's see, Caltrops, that's 11. Evasive is 16, that's a 13 skill. 15, and Strafe's first rune is 18, so I won't even see Strafe's first ability. Increase the rate of fire while using Strafe, that's not bad. So, yeah, level 10, and once again, is going to be nothing but passives. No runes, no skills.
Now for your just reward.
I'm not using Strafe too often here, I'm noticing. Ah, there we go, Leoric's Journal.
We have just arrived in Tristram. I must say, I'm a bit dismayed. This place is a backwater filled with serfs and an ancient broken-down monastery. Hardly fit for the King of Condorus. I cannot fathom why Lazarus was so intent on this becoming our new seat of power.
Keep your distance from him. This burden is mine to bear. May death bring peace from your madness, Leon.
Traitors! Even in death, the armies of Condorus will still obey their king, even if you would not.
So we'll have to see what kind of damage the Skeleton King can do to me, and see if it feels like he's a little tougher this time around. Really want to hit 10 before I get to that chamber.
You dare to bring the warmth of life into my tomb?
We shall put you down, Hellspawn!
Alright, Bola Shot should shine a little bit here. Especially with its rune capabilities here. Just go ahead and start killing a few skeletons. So the only problem I'm having with this design, looking at these, is the only shadowy ability I have is Caltrops, and it looks like I'll get Vault. At least with the last beta version, I was able to play around with. Sure, it was a Shadow Power one that increase your attack speed by a percentage. Really nice buff, honestly. I combined that with Rapid Fire, and with 2 rare hand crossbows equipped, the damage was insane. And this was something I've talked about when people talk about the Demon Hunter looking like it does a lot of damage compared to other classes. Seeing, they're talking about videos where they see the Demon Hunter pulling out, over 150 DPS or something like that. You have to keep in mind the Demon Hunter's gear was a lot higher than other classes, at least in that version. I don't know what they've done with the crafting system, as they did do a pass to it. They may be they still may be the same items at the same levels, but
I need more hatred to do that.
Having advantage of having a weapon, a rare weapon that you can make, that you can actually equip, because most of the rares, the yellows, for other classes couldn't be equipped because the levels were too high, and the hand crossbows were just the right level. They were level 13, so you could wield them at level cap. So the Demon Hunter had a slight advantage when it came to gear. Yeah, they could their in-game builds were strong, but was that a base ability buff, or was that a base ability that was making them strong, or was it the gear that was making them strong? And that was kind of my argument against when I would say that the Demon Hunter was weak, because you could make it up in gear, but if the only way you're making up damage in gear is in gear, that means there's something inherently wrong with your abilities, because eventually your gear will stop being better than everyone else's, and your scaling will be bad. And if you scale bad, then your in-game viability is bad or non-existent. Of course, like I said, they've changed these. I mean, honestly, I haven't felt bad about this class at all through this playthrough. It still feels really good. Overall, I am liking the skill system. I think this, it's nice to have the distinction between the different types of skills, primary, secondary, and all that. It would still be nice to kind of have a list, especially when I put it into elective mode, to just kind of have the list instead of having to look through all these. But I can understand why they did this, because the runes are now unlocked. You need a system to be able to select them.
For the Even the best of men cast shadows behind them. Our deeds will determine how great or small they shall be.
Oh, I didn't get level 10 before the king. Oh well, they're only passive, so we're not too worried about it. I will hit level 10 while killing the king. I know he's going to give me that much experience. So let's go ahead and skip that, like I said before I would. I know, I'm so disrespectful to the king. Just getting my hatred back here by destroying these, as well as looking for any items. Alright, there we go, we're full up. Alright, out of hatred, let's spam this for a bit. Not bad. I don't look like I'm taking too much damage, but I've got this ability to keep me from getting hit anyway. Let's intentionally take a couple hits and see how it feels. Yeah. That could be nasty if I stayed in it and I didn't pick up any health blows, but overall, still fairly easy here. Dang. Very nice. Nice drops this time. 3 blues and 2 yellows. And one's a stake thrower. I honestly starting to think that the things that he drops are tailored to your class when he dies. Because look at both of these. Both are Demon Hunter exclusive. So it's not just a random drop, but apparently it's random drop based on what you can get. So when you kill a boss, you can usually expect gear for your class. Alright, let's go ahead and real quick go over the skills we got. Once again, our passes, and I kind of like how it's kind of spread out here now. Thrill of the Hunt and Tactical Advantage, just like they were before. And there has been some slight change here, but not to the 2 I've got. So I won't be going over those, but these are pretty much the same. Every 10 seconds, next bow attack will immobilize my target for 3 seconds. So that's pretty nice. Combine that with the stun of Impale that I have right now, you can imagine I could really keep bigger monsters at bay. And then of course Tactical Evasion, or Tactical Advantage whenever you vault, smoke screen, or backflip with Evasive Fire. You gain 60% movement speed for 2 seconds. Which I have been using Evasive Fire a bit more, so I might look into that. But honestly for now I think I'll go ahead and get Thrill of the Hunt. We'll hit accept. And I'm sure that still incurs a 30-second cooldown for changing it, but as a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and find out now for sure, and I can always change it back. I'm going to put on Tactical Advantage, hit accept, and there you go. So here's the advantage of the new skill system. Now we can actually see the cooldown on the passives ticking down, whereas in the old system, that didn't happen. You knew there was a cooldown because it didn't pop up, but you couldn't actually see the timer. So let's go back to Thrill of the Hunt. We're good there. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the items, since no good playthrough is good without those. Again, you can still right-click and identify items without scrolls now. So here we go, 13 armor, not the best armor, but maximum discipline, melee attackers take 2 damage, health globes grant more life, and I have increased range. Honestly, overall, I don't really care for that. Not too great. Let's just see how it looks real fast. So, not too bad there, but I will be salvaging that, which will allow me to make some rare belt. Okay, the hand crossbow. It's a stake thrower. 17.6 DPS, which is good, better than what I have. 2 to 4 fire damage. 1 life granted per kill. Hatred regeneration increased by 0.55 per second, and plus 6 experience. So that'll be nice. That will honestly really be nice, and I can go ahead and use that now and combine it with my quiver. So honestly, there's another thing to think about. 2-handed weapons with quivers, 1-handed weapon with quivers. You can do both. Might end up being better with 2-handers, depending upon what kind of drops you find. Of course, obviously, look at the DPS when you consider that. Let's just go ahead and put that on. I'm at 30.96. I am now at 34.83. Difference a good item can make. Alright, that's been a playthrough with the Demon Hunter. To be honest with you, things are feeling pretty good here. I like the damage changes to the class. The difficulty hasn't really felt that much different, although rares obviously last longer, which makes them more interesting to fight. They don't just feel like normal enemies, so that's good. This UI part here, I don't know. I really don't know how I would change it. It's nice in that it categorizes everything, and of course you can use it to select your skill runes, but I don't know. Again, I would still like to have a list with exclusive mode active, kind of like the old betas had. But overall, my reaction to this and the way you get runes is positive. I especially like the, unlocking runes over, as part of levels to supplement the power growth. So, alright, what I'll do is let me get this put up for you guys on YouTube. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please leave comments and suggestions. This is, again, the Demon Hunter with Kage Kaze.